Tony Evers, governor of Wisconsin, begs Trump to cancel visit to Kenosha. Trump showed up. Just says begging didn't work. Now, this one shocked me a little bit when I seen it, because I didn't really know much about Kate Brown to begin with. But I guess she's blaming Trump for almost 100. Well, now it's almost, a couple days ago it was almost 100. It might be 100 nights now. 100 nights now of violence in Portland. Riots. Non-stop rioting for 90 days. Plus. Then Chicago had another bloody weekend. There's really no other way to put it. And, I mean, Kenosha has seen 175 people arrested so far during their little bit of their week or whatever of rioting, and 102 people from out of state. Ain't that up? That same thing happened in Minnesota. All the people that they arrested that were in Minneapolis, suddenly when they were arrested, they weren't in Minneapolis. They were somewhere in Colorado, Pennsylvania, They were all over. So you really know people are really getting moved in, whatever, for the protest to pop. I would say that these people are ones that are, I guess, trained protesters, professional protesters, professional rioters, whatever you want to call them. Maybe we'll call them the umbrella unit, because I know people like to call that umbrella guy that broke all the windows out of AutoZone. I know they like to start it with him, so maybe we'll call him the umbrella man, umbrella unit or some shit. And I just, when I seen that article, I was like, that's fucking crazy, man. That's nuts. And then you have, right after this shooting, you had, hold on. Kenosha said it in the media releases that arrests were from people located in 44 cities. At least 175 people have been arrested during the recent civil unrest in Kenosha, with 102 having arrested addresses listed outside of the city, according to numbers released by police on Sunday. The arrests were related to protests that occurred every night and have sometimes turned into destructive rioting following the police shooting of Jacob Blake on August 23rd. Kenosha police said in the media released that the arrests were from people located in 44 cities, although authorities didn't elaborate which states they came from. A total of 69 people were arrested for curfew violations. It's just crazy, man. And it's a lot of, when people like that are getting arrested, that's a lot of people from out of state. That's a lot of people from out of the city that are just coming in really just to, my guess is, there's a lot of people to loot. Like, I know I've seen a couple of videos when the George Floyd riots were going on. There was a kid on top of the SA right by the Cup Foods, or the Speedway, whatever you want to call it, right by the Cup Foods, and he was on the roof, and they made him get down. They were like, where are you from? He said he was from Blaine. So he's 20 miles from the city. So you know people are definitely coming from out of the city to do whatever damage they can do. It's just what they're doing. And it's definitely, like, it's good to see some of the tide turn, especially when you see like certain leaders, like let's say Sean King, literally gets torched on the internet after using Chad Boswick's death to promote his book. And this is what he said. I hope you are hanging in there. Yesterday I sent an email checking in on everybody, and just a few hours later we learned of the death of Chadwick Boseman. Life is so fragile, tomorrow is not promised. Over the past 6 years of the Black Lives Matter movement, I have traveled to 47 states, teaching, organizing, learning, and leading. And for all the 6 years, everywhere I go, people ask me, Sean, how do I actually use my life, my skills, my time, my energy to impact the change of the world? My book, Make Change, is a 272-page answer to that. He got torched for this on Twitter. They drug his ass through the coals for this. He shouldn't have did that. And to do this during the riots, to have Sean King do this, something that's supposed to be a supposed leader of Black Lives Matter, even though he gets torched and told every time on Twitter when he talks about it, he's not, it's nonstop. And Like one person said, can he just not grift for a whole 24 hours? Disgusting. There's a reason God didn't bless him with pigment so you can see right through him. Like, I mean, some of these people are going the fuck in. Like, this person goes, hello, folks, publisher here. When Sean King says he doesn't make a dime off selling his books, he's already paid for them a year ago. If that statement is true, what he means is his book has yet to earn back his advance on the royalties, one person explained. They roasted him. And I mean, this is what he said, I literally do not make a penny off the sales of my book, nothing. Got paid a year ago to write, and I had a mass email pre-scheduled to go out this morning about my book. I also updated the email to mention the death of Chadwick, and I don't regret it at all. There's that, he wrote on Twitter. Brave man. He normally doubles down on his dumb stupidity shit. He's really good at that. And, like, they're starting, like, when you think about what they're doing with Sean King, how they start going after him, right? They're starting to go after him. This stuff, it definitely leads to something, because now you got Black Lives Matter. Literally, what is it? I don't want to misquote how they're doing it. Oh, come on. Black Lives Matter protests chained themselves together in the mayor of Ted Wheeler's condo as riots erupt in Portland. The group of Black Lives Matter protesters chained themselves together inside of the lobby of Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler's condo Friday night. The sit-in was a part of a larger demonstration outside Wheeler's apartment. Approximately 150 people gathered to protest police brutality and racial inequality. Around 7 p.m., 12 BML protesters assembled inside of the lobby of a progressive mayor apartment complex in Pearl District. The group vowed to stay locked inside the lobby until Wheeler heard their demands. The group left 3 hours later. The group was demanding, specifically, we demand that you and your fellow city leaders immediately develop a task force to plan for a 50% reduction of Portland Police Bureau's budget by 2021, a complete abolition of the Portland Police Bureau by 2022 with no private or technological replacement, or the Portland group demanded the timeline gives existing police officers ample time to find and train for alternative, meaningful work that benefits the community. Ooh, these are some brave-ass fucking protesters. Stupid motherfuckers, too. Stupid. I ain't even gonna read the rest of the article. I just thought, like, I'm trying to paint a little picture about how the people that these mayors and governors are trying to be like, oh, I stand for you, rah. They're those same people want you to bend. And if you don't bend, they gonna boot you too. What's that saying? The longer you lick the boot, eventually you end up under it. Looks like Ted Wheeler is about to be under it. This one's about the Oregon governor, Kate Brown. Oregon's governor surges police to quell Portland mayhem. Kate Brown announces plans Sunday to surge police into Portland, including FBI agents, to get a handle on the violence that has continued nightly over the last few months. Ms. Brown, a Democrat, blamed the violence on right-wing groups she said were looking for a fight. Though the vast majority of the mayhem since May has been Antifa or Black Lives Matter protesters have engaged in nearly nightly clashes with the police. Oh, this is by the Washington Times, so it's not going to be just a completely lefty just trying to slap up the police and slap up right-wing groups like Kate Brown would love the public to believe, because the public already is fully aware it is not right-wing groups protesting and trying to blow up and destroy buildings. That's Antifa and Black Lives Matter, like 101. The fuck? She acknowledged those clashes have been stretched the Portland Police Bureau to its limits and it needs assistance. So she said Oregon State Police in Multnomah County Sheriff's Office that encompasses Portland, the deputies from neighboring jurisdictions of Clackamas and Washington counties in the city of Gresham will provide resources. So she's basically saying all of you other police need to come help now. Basically is what she's trying to say. Will Ted Wheeler allow them to come help? Or does he just think that does he still think it's just going to burn itself out like he said last week? I guess we'll find out, huh? Ms. Brown also says the Multnomah County District Attorney will prosecute serious criminal offenses. He had declined prosecution in a number of cases stemming from the riots, leaving police to complain that rioters were acting with impunity. They were, if you were actively not charging them. They were doing whatever they wanted, knowing full well they were going to get arrested, released, and not be charged. Even though her actions involved more police, the solution President Trump has called for, her statement took plans to bash his supporters, including the Patriot Prayer organization that conducted pro-Trump caravan through Portland Saturday. One member of the group was killed in the aftermath after another Patriot Prayer member said he was executed by Antifa demonstrators. He was. Ms. Brown, though, blamed the pro-Trump groups. That's so dude's his. He got himself killed. He got himself hunted down and killed, is what you're saying. I don't think anybody's hunting down Antifa and killing them. Nobody's hunting down Black Lives Matter and killing them. The right-wing group Patriot Prayer and self-proclaimed militia members drove into downtown Portland last night armed and looking for a fight, she said. Every Oregonian, however the fuck you say it, has the right to freely express their views without fear of deadly violence. I will not allow Patriot Prayer and armed white supremacists to bring more bloodshed to our streets. Oh, they're not bringing more bloodshed. They're trying to stop it. I'm not backing militias, but what did you think was going to happen? Did you think that they were literally just going to let the police just literally get lambasted every night nonstop for 90 fucking plus days, and then have you come out and try to shit on everything? I don't think so. I don't think that's how the public works. Sounds like some tyranny to me. To move the surge police is about face for Miss Brown and Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler, who spent months saying policing was not the solution to a nearly nightly chaos. Yeah, they also both insisted things would calm down when federal agents and officers deployed to protect the federal courthouse had been the scene of nightly attacks throughout July took a lower profile. Yeah, the feds left and they still continued to riot. Non-stop every night. Instead, after the federal presence was cut back, rioters turned their attention to the city's county office, including breaking into Portland City Hall last week. Yeah, they sure did. We all must come together, elected officials, community leaders, all of us, to stop the cycle of violence, Ms. Brown said. But this is only the first step. Real change will come from the hard work to achieve racial justice, and this starts with all of us listening to each other and working together. Trump's offered to work with you guys on multiple occasions. You shot him down every time. Then you continue to blame his supporters. You continue to blame the other people that protest against what Antifa and Black Lives Matter protest for. It's okay for them to protest, but if the right goes to protest, oh no, they're violent white supremacist assholes that only want to watch the world burn. There's this letter that I was talking about in the beginning. And this I hope LeBron James gets this letter, because this speaks volumes for, I think, a lot of people. A lot of people. Black father writes open letter to LeBron James. You don't speak for me and my boys. In the wake of LeBron James, and this is by Black Enterprise, in the wake of LeBron James and many NBA players speaking up against the systematic racism and police brutality against blacks, there has been a lot of talk about the fears of black men in America. James made a statement last week, sharing his fears as a black father that black people in America are terrified. 1 second. Just checking something, make sure it's still recording. Okay. That black people in America are terrified. In a response to James's position, a black father penned an open letter to Los Angeles Lakers player, the man, Patrick D. Hampton. Also, a Trump supporter posted a letter on his Facebook page that advises James to stop blaming the police and help build better fathers. I'm going to read the full letter. Dear LeBron James, you don't speak for me and my boys. I'm a father of 4 brown boys, and it is my responsibility as the father to protect and serve them. There is no need for police in my home because as the father, I am the authority in my home. Police are needed where fathers and law and order are absent. That when there is no father to protect and serve children, police have to move into that community to protect and serve. When there is no father or authority in the home or neighborhood, young men rebel. This is why police having a hard time gaining compliance with fatherless boys on the side of the road. They refuse to sit down, be quiet, and comply. Why? Because the police are the first men to tell them no.